Hey everyone, I'm Becky,
I'm Sarah.
and we're doing Bickering Book Reviews. Today we are talking about Boys with Sharp Teeth, which I forgot to look up the author's name on, by Jenni Howell.
I keep getting this title confused with Girls with Sharp Sticks.
Yes, me too. And
I
I'm
like that
trying,
book a
I'm
lot.
trying to keep everything straight. Okay, so this book takes place at a boarding school. And basically, what happens is it is about Marin James, and Marin lives in the small town outside of the boarding school. And her cousin, who's the same age as she is, was a security guard at the school, and he gets killed. And she knows that somebody at the school basically is the reason that he died. And so she takes on the false identity of Jamie, tricks her way into the school, and she's going to investigate and figure out who killed Sam and why. She gets, and almost immediately she meets three of his friends who she thinks are the ones that killed him. Baz, which is short for Basil, and Baz is a girl, and her mom is the headmistress. Henry, and then Graves, who, because of something to do with test scores, she ends up basically kind of sharing a dorm suite with Graves. Um, and as she's spending time with them, she kind of starts to uncover some mysteries about them, and she finds something that might be a little sinister. And that's
So, I think a couple of things, couple of thoughts. As you're going through the plot, it highlights kind of an issue for me as far as I didn't believe Marin. What did she go by again? I
Jamie.
can't.
Because her name's Marin James, and she went by Jamie.
Jamie. Thank you. Um, I don't believe Jamie's story, right? Like, because I don't think the writer believes her story. Because she's not particularly smart. She can't keep up with these kids, is at least that's how it's written. She can't keep up with these kids in the boarding school. They don't have her money. She's planning on staying there for 2 days. Come on. But like I'm gonna go to school. I'm gonna go to class. I'm only gonna be there for 2 days, but I'm gonna go to class. Come on. And like, if you're trying to do this whole plot over 2 days, originally that's how it was set up. Eventually, it spans out to 2 weeks, but there needs to be a sense of urgency that was missing. It was just kind of like, ho hum, I'm gonna go to class. It's gonna be just a normal going to class kind of day. Like, come on.
So yeah. So I read the description for this book when it was like announced by the publisher, and I really wanted to read it. Like, to me, like on paper, this is the type of book that's like all in for me. And many years ago, Sarah and I took a workshop at work that talked about like the different ways that people like books. And you either like strong characters, strong settings, strong plot, or language, like beautiful language. And I like reading this book, it really just did not work for me. And I think part of the problem, it has beautiful language. So if that's all you're looking for in a book, there are parts of it that are very beautifully written. But there's no real plot. There's like an event,
Character
a thing
development.
happens, a thing happens, a thing happens, but they're in no way connected. And I felt like the characters weren't particularly well developed. I kept getting Henry and Graves confused. And maybe that was because I listened, we didn't say that. I got the book off of NetGalley. I got the eARC, and then I actually ended up listening to an e-audio that was on NetGalley.
And I read it from NetGalley.
But yeah, so maybe it was because I was listening to the audio that I had a hard time with it. But and like
I
the
had to force
pacing was
myself
off.
to read it and I couldn't listen. I couldn't listen. Like because it's harder for me to listen to books than it is for me to read them. And so the idea of transitioning from reading a book that I was struggling with to listening to a book, it just wasn't going to happen. And I feel like this book you're right. The language was it was dense. Like it was the writing caliber was very similar to the whatchamacallits that they gave in the description. It was very similar to like Raven Boys and We Were Liars. However, it was missing all of the character development, plot, and setting. Um, so like it was getting dense, and I was getting lost in the narrative, right? Like I couldn't figure out what was happening, And I feel like this is very similar to like Raven Boys. If we started the story from Rowan and Adam's perspective, and like the thing is, the only reason why you like Rowan and Adam is because you got to know them through Blue and Gansey. And like without Blue and Gansey, you don't develop that connection, and we don't have that connection to Graves or Henry. Like I don't care about them. I don't know.
And like actually to me the setting was a major disappointment because I like boarding school books and I like the atmosphere. And you don't really know anything about the setting. Like I'm still trying to like figure it out. And I guess that's the thing is like it was a long I have no idea how long it was. It felt like a long book. It felt like a book that it was kind of like a chore to get through, which I'm okay with a book that's a chore to get through if the ending's amazing. Um, but there was no payoff at the end.
There was a payoff throughout the book. Like there was maybe one scene that between Baz and Jamie that like was semi interesting, like because it kind of developed their character, but like in general, it wasn't great. And like I didn't get enough crumbs along the way to wait for the payoff at the end. Like I said, I think if there was a greater sense of urgency and like things were happening like more quickly, but like I was bored. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like I get that this is a first book and everything. Like and I get that the writing caliber could be there, but like the other stuff needs help.
Well, and that's what I'm kind of thinking. I feel like there is an audience. Like if you are that audience that just cares about the actual wordsmithing, then this is the book for you. But if you like a driven plot, if you like strong characters, if you like I said, the setting wasn't developed at all either,
Mark
then
my words, this is gonna end up on lists.
well,
It's gonna end up on lists.
yeah.
And it kind of made me rage read, which is bad, and I'm sorry, and I feel bad for saying it, but like, no.
It was hard for me to get through. So we should just rate it. So our rating system starts off with 5 unicorns. We got into 2 unicorns. If we don't like it, it is a horse.
I don't know if this book made me grumpy or waking up made me grumpy, but I want to give it a horse, but I'm not going to. I'm going to give it a 2 because I only give horses to really, really, really bad books that I can't finish. So I'm giving it a 2.
And I'm giving it a 2 because like the writing is there. Like the actual words. There is
Fair.
something poetic about it.
Fair.
But the aspects that I need to enjoy a book were not there.
Fair.
So that is where we are on Boys with Sharp Teeth, and we'll see you around.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.